Well, welcome to Conscious Gatherers. Today's date is March the 5th, 2024, and this is our episode 115. My name is Beverly Thompson, and I'm with
AJ Royce. Hello, everybody.
I tell you what, we're much better than we were 2 weeks ago, so we may hopefully sound a little bit better, so we're on the mend. But anyway, we're here together. And had a nice eventful day, and we're going to, of course, share those insights with you today. I'm going to start out with some information that I received a couple nights ago, and I was asking a couple questions, so I'm going to share them with you. I have to admit, I was a little hesitant to even bring these up, and so I was talking to Royce and a friend of mine, another friend, and they said, well, why are you hesitating, basically? Can't recall the words you used, but I went, all right, I'll share. So anyway, it's more what's happening today, and then we're going to go a little bit further on that in just a bit. All right, do you have any more to say right now?
Nope.
All right, you ready to go?
Ready.
Okay. A couple days ago, I got the words, a calling. I thought, this is going to be interesting. And it's one of those times, and many of you, and just before I get into what I was given, you feel something, and you know it's time to sit down and write, or sit down to do something, or whatever. And it's kind of like getting that swift kick in the back end to get you moving. So it's kind of like that, but it's that internal feeling. So I did. I went into my office and sat down, and then a calling came out. It sounded funny.
Yeah, it's like a knock on the door. Inspiration calling.
That's a good way of saying it, the inspiration calling. So pay attention to these things that come to you, because there's reasons for it all. That is you speaking to you, the God within, or you can call them your guides, your angels, whatever you want, and then other beings that you're close to may be helping you out. So pay attention. So I did. All right, I'm going to share with you the insight that I received. This indeed is a calling forth for humanity to come together in unity, to break the barriers set up by the dark ones. It is up to each one to recognize the patterns at play, to hold one in place for them to continue their nefarious deeds. As we have said, all will be exposed, and it is and has been happening. What has been going on behind the scenes is the takeout of these false barriers. Humanity, listen. And that was really stressed.
Hear, hear.
Yeah. Yes, the storm is upon you, yet do not despair, as reality is changing and nirvana is at your doorstep. It is up to you to walk through that door.
Mm-hmm.
We keep getting doors.
Yeah.
And I think I got doors, in my insight today. Last time and the time before that. So that word door comes through, and I think it's a wonderful connotation. You shut one door and you open another one. So so much for us in front of us. All right, I'm going to continue.
Okay.
Since I have the lines, my communication lines open on a calling, I asked this question because I really wanted to know. And I don't follow the mainstream news that closely for many reasons. So, excuse me. So I went ahead and asked this question. And it's about two different people. So I usually don't like to get into their business, but it does affect us all. So I went ahead and asked. So anyway, here's the questions. I said, I would like the truth about Putin. That's Vladimir Putin, please. So here's my answer. Putin is playing his role as part of the dark side and he's bringing forth light to the peoples of this world. He is and has exposed some of the atrocities in Ukraine. That is why Ukraine cannot stand up as a country much longer. It is like a province of a unified Russia. More will be brought out to the masses on this. So, take it for what that is. But I thought that was interesting. And then I asked, okay, and Trump? And here's the answer to that. Trump is definitely stirring the masses for them to see some of the internal government mechanisms at play. Do these mechanisms serve you? It depends upon your perceptions. If you follow their dictates, then yes. If you say no and follow your own internal guides, which many more people are doing, as they are saying no to unwarranted dictates, then the old system will fail. And that is exactly what is happening. It is like a whole new ball of wax. You can create what serves you, your country, and the world, all love in motion. Love in motion. This includes new technologies that may blow your socks off. So, I was thinking this ball of wax, whole new ball of wax, some of these sayings that we have, and I thought, yeah, that's because you can mold it into whatever you want to mold it into.
Yeah.
So it's our manifestation. So it's really, I thought, that's pretty cool. So anyway, new technologies that may blow your socks off. So, wow. That's a biggie.
It is.
And, excuse me. Then the next lines are, these are critical times, yet know that a beautiful horizon awaits you. These indeed are the end times, with a newness beckoning at your door. Another door. It is beauty in the making. So, yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
So that's, to me, is a very positive message, even though we're going to go through a lot. And the next insight today discusses a little bit about that without going into the details. And then Ms. Royce will share more of that, a similar insight. So I'm going to just go right ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, first thing I heard was power of the people. Excuse me. Stay relaxed through these coming times when everything appears topsy-turvy. The old is toppling, not to return. Governments, media, unwanted regulations are coming to an end. As these fall, fill yourselves with gladness, letting go of the apparatuses that have tried to keep you shackled. Obvious absurdities are being shown. See the whole picture, then close the door. Open new doors to ultimate prosperity. I'm like, wow, and I could, ultimate prosperity really popped out at me. So, positive times ahead. So do remember that as we go through this. So stay relaxed through these changes, these times that we're going through. Then I heard there will be new opportunities for income. There's new ways of living wholly, WHOLLY, and then new ways of viewing life, and that means on many levels. It's going to be beneficial to all mankind. And then I heard breaking bread for the new day. Mm-hmm. I thought, okay, when you break bread, is that sharing your bread with others and starting a new day, breaking bread? That's what breakfast is, right? Break a fast, break bread. However you want to look at it. So, and then I did hear upcoming more interactions with our space brothers and sisters. A little more on that in just a bit. And new technologies will be shared, are being shared. So, yeah, that's pretty exciting because, man, we're going, I was going to say we're going where no man has gone before, but man and the human maybe, but, I don't know if I can even say that anymore. Many of us on earth have not gone. Not all, but many of us on earth have not gone there. So it's going to be real exciting, and it's like I'm awestruck. I think people will be awestruck. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. Miss Royce, please share.
Well, you mentioned something in here about, can I see your notes?
Mm-hmm. One moment, please.
Oh, new ways of viewing life. I've in some weeks past, I've been sharing some of the things that I've been going through, talking about how we're evolving. We are changing as a species for the better. Even though, there's times when you look around and you see the news and stuff and you think just the opposite. But there are those who are making strides forward and upward for the evolution of our entire species. And some really unusual things have been happening. And one of the things I had heard of some while back about the Merkaba making an energy field around us. Merkaba is like a star tetrahedron, but it's the two pyramids that merge together and they're spinning, and they create an energy field. This has to do with what you're doing with your consciousness, and eventually this energy field, your Merkaba field, will be a vehicle for us to travel around in physically. It sounds like science fiction right now, but when you begin to experience some things that you've read about concerning this, it paints a whole new picture of what life can be. I was out on the patio, and the birds come and go, and they get loud, and then they die down when a predator comes around, and then they come back in. But they were in this time when they were kind of quiet.
Yeah, this just happened a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so all of a sudden the birds started singing differently than they had before, and it really caught my attention. And right after that, I saw what looked like a glass ball that formed all the way around me, about 6 feet in diameter. Look, I felt like I was inside of one of those clear glass Christmas ornaments, and because I could see the reflection of stuff on it. I mean, it looked like glass. And the thoughts that were going through my head was, oh man, this is the Merkaba field. And that must have been why the birds started chirping differently. They sensed something was about to happen, or was in the process of happening, and so they reacted to it. They didn't fly away, and they did not silence themselves. It was just the opposite of being silent. They started singing, but differently. So I just wanted to share that with you, to let you know that these things that you've heard about, that these spiritual people have been doing for some time now, are for real. And we are evolving to the point to where we are going to be seeing this stuff manifesting in the physical with our own eyes. And so there's no need to be afraid of it, but just realize that life is changing for the better. And we're going to partake of some really wonderful times ahead.
As you would say, hear, hear. Okay, continue. Thank you. And you want to share what's your insight today?
Sure, I will. First word I got was perseverance. Stay true the course, that path which resides within your own heart. Go forward with love and respect as your guide. As it has been said, just a little while longer, and all will be known, that which is worth knowing. Stay true the course, and that which has escaped your grasp will be laid at your feet. Free yourself of doubt, self-doubt, and your journey will be realized as a much less burdened experience. There has been an avalanche of things too vile to contemplate, things of a nature of pure darkness, which have poured out upon your fields of plenty. And this, too, shall draw to a close, as the curtains closing when the play has been completed. There comes a time when all the atrocities no longer hold their sway over the emotions of the people, when the soul has been laid bare, and the people say, "It is well with my soul." It is a time fast approaching when the darkness is overwhelmed by the light. The people arise and proclaim the light as the chosen path, for the darkness has been overtaken by truth. Stand true and know that the light shines within. Now, sometime after receiving this afternoon, well, actually shortly before we began the podcast, we noticed that the room had quite literally filled up with all kinds of beings of all types of different statures. Mm-hmm. And I just call them from visiting beings. This is what I heard. Actually, I asked if there was anything they had to say, and I heard something a tone in my left ear. It was like my ear was kind of pierced with the sound, and then it was like a vacuum, and then a normalization of the hearing in my left ear. And this is what I heard. It's coming, a time of wonderment.
Wow. That's exciting. I mean, what I heard from these beings, after we looked at each other ready to start this, and I said, "You've seen a lot of beings around here." And it was different because they were all shapes and sizes around us, short ones, tall ones, and the words I heard was, "Peace be you." So, excuse me. So, if you may feel that around you, as long as it's comfortable for you, then all is well. If it's not, then these beings might not be there for your highest good. So,
yeah, always discern that.
Yeah, and each of us have that power to say no.
That's right. We can say no. If something doesn't feel right, you'll get that feeling. You'll feel it in your heart. You'll feel it in your gut. But you'll know for sure that something is not for your highest good. And so proclaim the space around you as yours. And Beverly is a little bit detained right now, and so she's pointing the finger at me to keep speaking. It really is truly a wonderful time that we are living in. A very exciting time, a time when we get to experience things that we don't usually experience, these new things, new sensations, just wonderful things And so now is the time. It's a time of wonderment. So
I love that. I think I'm okay. Maybe. Excuse me for coughing. I get these coughing spells. All right. Sorry, guys. All right. What was I going to say about that whole thing? Oh yeah. Remember, we all chose to be here, and chosen to be here. So it's all of the above, and so we're all here for a reason, and we didn't say it was going to be easy, and because there have been a lot of hard times for a lot of people, and a lot of people are not understanding things, going through a lot of pain, and those of you that are not, well, if you're going through pain, it's okay to reach out and talk to people to help you start understanding these things and allow things to come to you from you can call it the God within or your higher self, whatever terminology you want to use, because it is always there. It is you. And as Roy said, and all the experiences that she has been through and seen the Merkaba, a couple of days ago, I mean, your whole world view starts changing. And so it's a new way, basically, of operating in the physical. And that is what's going on now. But we can't take the crap with us.
Yeah, and sometimes all of the hardships that we go through, they have when we really go inside and try to work with it to see why am I going through this. Sometimes you can get to some really interesting things that you've been carrying around with you for your whole life. And it's when you acknowledge those things that's when the door opens for you to invite them to leave. It no longer serves you. So onward and upward.
Yeah, let it go the best you can. I mean, if you don't let it go, it's going to come right back.
And some things leave in layers.
Yeah, you think you've gotten rid of something, it's like, what the heck? It's back. Or you may think it's back, but it's seeing another layer. And it's like, man, it's really interesting to see yourselves, this is my take, see yourselves go through this because, you just think back even 10 years, especially even 20 years, look how much your life has changed. Not that you're older, I mean, obviously, you are older in linear time, but your thought processes and how that's all changed. It's pretty much amazing to me.
Yeah.
Because it's like, wow, I mean, I didn't go this deep. Well, I don't know. I started going that deep 20 years ago.
But the depth of understanding that comes with where we are right now, it's totally different the way I see it from the way it used to be.
Yeah. Good way of saying it. Thank you.
We may have been getting the words, and we thought we knew what it was, but we knew what it was to the level of understanding we had then.
Yes. But
as time passes, your level of understanding goes deeper and deeper.
It certainly does. Well, with that, I have been working on my next book, and it's really going slow, but that's okay. I'm allowing myself. But going through some of my past writings, etc. So still going through that. And I came across something that I wrote. I didn't date it. I went ahead and actually put it into the computer and now I have a copy of it because I thought, well, this is pretty good. So I think it was from 2004, so 20 years ago.
It is good.
So I just showed it to Royce before we started. She said, I would read that. And I said, okay. So this is something to take in. And I'll speak it slowly for you and see how that feels for you. I am a source, a divine creation. I am a sovereign being. What I create for me, the world, and the God within. I am mankind in the flesh, created out of love, for a manifestation of the Spirit. I acknowledge that I am love incarnate. I shall live my life with only this love. I am infinite power. To this I am that I am. I hold myself in deep gratitude of just being. I acknowledge that it is so.
I love it.
Yeah, this says it all, doesn't it?
It sure does.
Yeah, so, well, as Roy said, exciting times, interesting times, deep times, what the heck is going on times. Topsy-turvy is the word I got today. And indeed, I think it's been kind of a crazy week already. So, and this year of 2024 is like, what the heck? But as, this is what did the beings around the table said?
It's coming, a time of wonderment.
Yeah, there we go. So more will be shared, and even beings come around you, and make sure that they are very benevolent, or whatever you're comfortable with. If you're not comfortable, that's okay too, because some people it scares them. And so if you're in that, if it is scary for you, then you don't have to accept that until you're ready to accept the benevolent beings as being your brothers and sisters. Because that's exactly what they are. Mm-hmm. So, all right, our next podcast is going to be 2 weeks from today, and I believe that's going to be the 19th of March. So more interesting times this month, and I think a lot more is going to be shown in the next 3 or 4 months, just from what I've been hearing. So, but remember, the time of wonderment is upon us, or it is now. It actually is now.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have some last words?
I just want everyone to know how much I love you and support you in this time in your journey when you're in the midst of evolving yourselves. So just know that you have support. And I thank you for being here on the planet. It's my greatest pleasure to be here with you. And thank you for staying.
Remember, you're loved. Remember that we hold this power. I am infinite power, because we are. We can change anything with our consciousness.
Yeah.
And it's like, we'll kind of back away from something, and it's like, wait a minute, I have the ability to change that energy, that is. You don't have the ability to change another person unless they will ask for your assistance. So do remember that, because otherwise it's none of your business, and that's going to backfire. So I think probably many of you listening have had that happen to you, because you want somebody to understand something that you understand so bad, but they can't grasp it, or they don't want to grasp it, and then they get angry. And I can understand. Yeah, don't force anything on another person, but if they're ready to listen, if they want to listen, allow them in the system, and you may learn something in the process. So,
always.
Yeah. All right. Well, do remember if you to like and share, if you would. I would love that. We would love that on our channel, and any comments that you have are welcomed. And do remember, both of us have books that are available at most online bookstores, and your books are
When the Night Comes Creeping and Walking into the Eye of God. Walking into the Eye of God is a book dealing with sacred geometry. And When the Night Comes Creeping is my own story of how I woke up and the things that assisted in that and what I gleaned from all of it.
Yeah, it really, there's a lot in there to take in, so I highly recommend it, that book. And the sacred geometry, I have to admit that's a little harder for me to understand, but it's all right there.
And I'm writing a new book that it'll be done when it's done. But it's another one on sacred geometry. But I believe it's one that if you take some time with it, that it's more inclusive and takes you step by step, a bit more gradually. So I think it will be more understandable.
Okay.
Even than walking into the eye of God.
Oh, good. I'm anxious for it. I mean, she shared just a little bit, but it's like, okay. Excuse me. All right, my books are a series of 3 books called The Mystery of the Universes. And the first one, the subtitle is A Prophecy Fulfilled, and because that's the words I received. and Writings of the Mystery of the Universes, that is also what I received. So it's really me, which I didn't realize, me leaving that prophecy to write at this time. So I'm like, well, when I figured that one out, it was like, it really kind of blew my socks off because, everything else used to be out there, and now I'm finding out, maybe not so.
It's in there.
It's in there, in there. So, and the second book is called Mystery of the Universes, Book 2, and then the third book, Mystery of the Universes, Book 3. And all 3 of them books are channeled. The first one is a little more esoteric in nature, and then I was really taking dictation. I was a scribe, so because a lot of that stuff I did not understand, and I'm learning to understand that now. And then book 2 and 3 are a continuation of that, but I got a little bit more of me in there, and like because of some things that were puzzling to me that I would really wanted to be understood. And so when I put that out, we just say to the universe, really, which is the God within, then that information would come forth. And when that happened, I would go, oh, this is the question I've had. And so, that information then was given. So it's really cool how that works.
Yeah.
So allow yourself to listen. That's a biggie.
Yeah, your books really are quite amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think so. I have to admit, but I can't say I take all the credit for it because I was, the scribe that I brought them for. So, and it's like, wow. So, and some of you may see yourselves in some of the stories. There's a few parables in there that really have a lot to say within their little stories. And they're all short little, we call them chapters or writings. So they're usually 1 to 3 pages. They're really pretty short, but a lot to take in. So, all right. Well, thank you all for listening. We greatly appreciate it. Any questions that you have, you can write them in the comments. As I also was going to say, if you want to reach any of us, Royce or myself or Terry Palma, who we see ever so often, in fact today, and there's quite a few different things that we energetically assist people with. That's kind of an overall way of saying it. And you can reach us, and the phone number is, you'll see it written on the videos, but the number is 864-999-3008. So just leave a message, and we'll get back to you. Thank you. Blessings to everybody as we're going through these wonderful, tumultuous times. It's really wonderful. I could be first or last. It's all the same because we're going through and letting go of all those old patterns, old shackles, all of that. Like, nope.
Letting go of everything that holds us back as a species from evolving to our highest and fullest potential.
I think we're amazing.
Yes, we are.
All right. All right. Good night.
Good night.